Hello everyone. Yeah, it's been a while for our video series for House Events application, which I am preparing for our ASP.NET MVC group. So I will recommend that if you can go back to the previous video just to refresh where we were, and on that stage, let me show you this one. So previously we started with this API controller, and we were talking about that we will create this page, and it will allow user to click this button and a database entry will be generated. We create this button, and we just change this appearance that once user click this one, instead of showing the question mark, it is changing its color and showing this one, but actually there is nothing happening at the end. If we see it from database point of view, no records were being created, and it was just a boilerplate code to simulate the idea. So today we will wire up this button with our server-side code, and let's do that. So in the meantime, what I did, actually I have moved to the, let me just make the screen size a little bit bigger. Okay, so what I did, actually I have installed the resharper, of course, and also this attendance controller which we created earlier here in our controllers folder. What I did, actually I did not like this idea, and I just create one folder API and move the functionality in this attendances controller. So if you see this one, this is actually almost the same code with only one distinguish that I have here, this from body attribute. And I think you are all familiar with this one, that it specifies that an action parameters and also some comment I put. The rest is totally identical what we had in the previous video. So for now I will be definitely focusing this one, and once functionality finished, I will simply remove it from the application. So we will have clean separation between our controller and the normal MVC controller and API controller. On the view, we had this button earlier, and as you noticed that we were just removing the class, adding a class on the click event. So let's proceed from this point onward. So also one more thing I have added one data dash event ID attribute, and just provide the value of our event.event ID. And if you notice that we have this one already here, this is coming from our model. So the idea behind this one is that once we click this one, we will make an AJAX post request, and we will pass this event ID to our controller. And in the previous videos, we have already write the initial level of code. Let me close this one. So, and we will definitely modify this one a little bit as well. So let's start with the view part as well. Let's finish our post request, and let's see how we will proceed from there anymore. Okay, so we have here the button. Now make the post request here. For this purpose, I will simply use $.post. And inside that, I will provide the URL, the first parameter, which is my now API controller /API. If you notice, this is this one I am pointing to. And here I have attend attendances controller. I don't need to provide this one controller prefix postfix. And the second parameter of this one will be our data dash attribute, which is coming here from representing this button via this variable. So I can simply go here and put button dash attribute, and what attribute I'm interested in, I will simply mention it data dash event dash ID. So it will provide me the value of this one. And from this one, once this happen, this request is made. So in done part, let's see our success callback. I want to move my code, which is actually this one here. So if the request is successful, processing has been done on the servers, then we will be definitely keeping the same behavior to changing the text and the color of our button. And next thing we need to do is actually we have to handle the fail scenario as well. Fail function And here I will, for now, let me just put a simple alert, and later we will make it a little bit fancy via toasted. Something failed. Okay. Good. So also let me do this one. So you see the change was really simple. We just provided this post call and encapsulated our functionality. Now, on the server side, in our API call, from port, and here I'm getting user ID. It was a previous course. Here, what we need to do, actually, good idea, if we can check that if this record already exists or not. So I will provide here this checking bool exists equal to from our context dot attendances dot any. I am using link simple a dot id is equal to our id parameter, and okay, this is again my keyboard a dot attendee id is equal to what is our user id. So we are checking if there any record exists which belongs to this user and have same event ID, then it means that record already exists. Let me break this one just to fit on the screen and for more readability. Okay, so if this exists, what we will do for now, we will simply return add request. Add request already exists. And do one thing. So I click here on exist. I'm using resharper, but you can do this one, Control Shift R. I can actually encapsulate, because this variable, I can make it an inline variable. Okay. Otherwise, if you like the way it was before, just having a separate variable and using this one in its block, you can do it as well. Just a second. Yes. So having done that, there is still, okay, this is also asking me that make this context read only, of course, because we are initializing only constructor, and definitely we can do that. So I have moved from CodeRush to ReSharper in these days, and definitely it's a much better experience of using it. So now the next thing, let us run this one. Actually, there are a couple of more things we need to take care of, but for now, just let's see where we have been so far. So if I click OK, going, event ID 0. So I am not receiving it, of course. And this is the problem with the scalar values, how the ASP.NET runtime check for this one if we are making an AJAX call. And so what we need to do, actually, it's really simple, but it look a little bit odd, and I will explain it in due course. So button dot attribute, actually we need to provide it a object literal here. So an empty string, comma, sorry, this is okay. And also, if you notice that currently I think I have committed the code which is actually saving the record. No, it is not. Let's see if we receive the correct event ID, and then we can talk about that. So console. Okay, so there is some problem with my code markup. Let me see that one. So, of course, so if I am doing this one, Actually, I don't think I need to do this. Yes. Just let me refresh it. Refreshing. Okay, so I got it. Event ID. And let's move on. Let's debug it. User ID. Let's see. So, okay, so this record did not exist, and just click continue. We got this going part. And if I come here on my database, currently, as you know, it's local DB, but you can definitely attach it to your SQL server, and it is our attendances record. Show table data. We got the record. Looking good, huh? One thing actually at this point I would like to do is I would like to, first of all, I have the requirement that I need to provide from body attribute here, because for the scalar type we need to do it. So instead I would like to replace it with a data transfer object, and for the next module this will be much helpful. So let me stop this one here, and here let me create a class, public class attendance video, and for now it will have only integer and event ID. That's it. I think it's better I just recheck, because it's a while that I am back here. So let me go back to my models, event ID. Yeah, and we are interested only in this property for now. We can extend this one, and of course I would not put it this one in directly in controller. So let me make this one to another file, course attendance DTO. Next, and okay, it actually moved this one to my API controller, but of course I would not. I would like to have a separate folder for my organization of DTOs, and let me call it DTOs. So you can copy and paste, otherwise I can simply just click here and move to folder. Actually, instead of API, I will do it DTOs, and looks that. And while one more thing, while I'm doing this, you see it also adjusts the namespaces as well for me when I'm doing it with ReSharper. Otherwise, you can simply manually move this file and adjust the namespace as you like. So what I would do this one now here, instead of this one from body int, I will simply here make it attendance video, and I will call it attendance video. And of course, these are the variables name has been changed. So let me adjust this one. Let me select this, and let me change all event ID, change all local event ID, and let me make this one and ETO dot event ID. That's it. So let me run this one, and of course there is one more thing you need to be aware of. I will show you what I'm talking about, and this we will definitely handle in our next session, that how to prevent this to happen. For example, you see this one is previously we created the record for this one, and it is again showing me going, and I know that there is a corresponding entry in here in my server explorer, which we just earlier saw this one. So what we would like to see here, that if there is a record, we will definitely initialize it that this was already marked, and rest will not. So if I try to create this one, okay, I will show you, but let's for now just click this one. So I got my attendance DTO. Okay, there is some issue with this one, that it is not recognizing it. Of course, definitely I need to adjust this one code a little bit on the view side. And you know what? This thing actually, there is a counterpart for attendance DTO using this one. Okay, so our something failed part is working as well. This one actually, I think I would like to handle it in the so let me move this one back. Okay, so let me fix this one along with the improvement to this DTO part, but you got the idea that what I'm trying to achieve here. Otherwise, just leave it from the from body attribute and it should be work as expected. See you next time, guys. Have a nice day. Bye bye.